Hey everyone, it's me, Cassie, and today's video is on realizing just where we come from. And I'm whatever generation American. My great grandparents and my great grandparents actually came straight from Norway. We spoke Norwegian, never actually got the chance to meet them, but that's how it is. And the reason I'm doing this video and talking about this is because yesterday was Hmong Day and National Somalian Independence Day, and me and my sister were talking about how some people were already kind of talking about it and how why should they celebrate it here in the States and not why did they come here to the States and everything. And you have to realize that it's the same reason that our ancestors did, for a new start, for a land that claims you can be who you want, you can celebrate and pray as you are. And that's just how it is. We don't really think of it like that. We don't think of how not that long ago a lot of our family members, mine especially, had come over, and how lucky we are in couple recent generations, that we are able to worship and want to be who we are without complete segregation and just bullied about. And it's just really hard to think of that. What kind of hypocrisy that the United States has been built upon, a land of a home, land of the free. And to think that the main idea was everyone could be free, everyone could be who they are, everyone can do what they want. But if you think about it, we hadn't started thinking of accepting other religions, other colors, sorry, not colors, ethnicity, so many things, even just people with colored hair, and people who are counted as different from, the normal white Christian male. A lot of white women have it a lot easier, but still, white Christian male. They don't think about even white Christian females, how hard they can have it and how hard you have to work to get to a level that a male has. So to think that everyone talks about it's the land of the free and home of the brave and just how great it is, yeah, America is amazing, yeah. The ideals that it's been built off of is amazing. But to think of that the ideals that it was built off of didn't actually start coming to life, starting to be actually, in a way, practiced until recent generations. And that is a hard thing for people to understand. America has been built off of so much. It's been built off of the backs of slaves, either African American or Chinese. Chinese was the railroad, African American was plantations and everything when we first started. And people don't think of that. And then you think of how much we had to, that everything's been put into the wars, and how in certain times we were afraid of different countries, different religions, different ethnicities, which is ridiculous, but you can understand the fear. But I kind of think of it this way. A lot of times we had, during World War II, we had German refugees, in a way, come over and ask for asylum, ask for help, and we let them come in. But after Pearl Harbor, a lot of Japanese Americans and just Asian Americans that had either come over and been over in Americas for a while were thrown into little concentration camps, something we like to ignore from our history classes. And that's what a lot of things are. We think of the great things America has done as a country, and there's a lot. But there's also a lot of terrible things we have done as a country. Not just when it started, not just recent years, all through the history of the Americas. There has been terrible things we have done. And there's still terrible things we're doing as a country. And it's a little much. We have people, especially with some of the things that have happened since Trump has become president, and when we think of terrorism, we think what's happening, people who are coming from the outside, coming in and attacking the states, when we don't realize there's a lot of places, a lot of organizations in the United States that attack itself from the inside towards the out, and even just on the inside. We don't think of the KKK, we don't think of so many organizations like this. We ignore them. And then whenever something like that kind of comes to the light of this, we ignore it. And if someone attacks, especially if somehow they're of a Middle Eastern origin, we like to think of it as it has to be terrorists, Qaeda and whatever else, when really it could just be someone who's twisted their religion, twisted ideals, and decided to attack. Because people don't realize just how messed up human beings are in our minds. How easy it is to twist a few words, to twist some beliefs, and turn it against others. And a lot of people, I will think back when I was a kid, I had an interesting story. I had an interesting event happen. I was talking, I don't even remember how old I was. I was just a little elementary kid. And I was talking with someone. I can't remember if it was about the church, religion, and he was talking about something. And I just remember hearing something about two women being together is wrong. And this was after I started realizing how different my cousin was. And I just went, well, how is that wrong? And I just went on this whole spiel. Don't really remember it, and I just kind of remember a lot of times, even just little kids, you don't realize how twisted raising someone is until you think you go from a small town to a larger town, or just introduce more people to the world of the today. But it went from that and just telling me how wrong that is, and how it's a sin, and God didn't create us for that. And I just went, well, in my head, and especially now thinking of it, I just think, well, love is love. God had created people to be all equal, had created us all to have flaws, to be different, to be our own form of unique. But everyone wants us, a lot of these people that twist these religions, against homosexuality, just be flat out racist and just be against everything that is different from themselves, white Christian male, regular Middle Eastern Muslim. You think of how they twist it, just taking a few passages from their form of a Bible and twisting it into something that completely changes the ideals of this religion. Everyone needs to realize we're all created from the same kind of genome, same form, whatever religion you're coming from. Ancient Greeks, Romans, created from clay, from Prometheus and Zeus, and then we were split into half. We were all, in a way, born like that, created for something like that. Adam and Eve, or whatever you want to go from, and we all started off as that. So we're all started from, in a way, a few organisms, and then over time, we change. We adapt to our surroundings. And this is what I gotta adapt to the surroundings. And even today, we still have human beings adapting to surroundings, even with how we have so many things that can change it. We have air conditioning, heating, but you think we all can adapt. We all adapt to our surroundings. So someone from northern Minnesota, let's say a difference between northern United States, Canada, and people who live in more desert like climates, southern United States. You compare those two people and you can say we're completely different, but we're a lot alike. And people from these areas, where with heat, you would sweat more from northern, probably not really used to it, taking a while for our bodies to adapt to such heat because we're not used to it. Like people who are used to higher climates go through winter, where it'll be in the 50s and they're all bundled up. They're 50s or whatever, and they're bundled up, but people who are from northern parts where it's a little bit colder a lot more often, 50s, 40s, and we're still like, who needs a jacket? It's not negative. And that's how a lot of things are different. And I know I'm rambling, and I know I always ramble and rant, but that's just what people need to realize, especially with it being the 4th of July. And I mean, I've heard over years that people saying you can't celebrate it because they just came to the States. They don't understand what Independence Day is about. And you think about it, they know exactly what Independence Day is about. Because they came over to the States to live here, in America, from whatever country they're from, for exactly that reason, exactly for the ideals that America was built off of. So if you think of that, that's exactly what the 4th of July tomorrow is about. It's about celebrating our individuality and being able to celebrate who we are, what we are, our differences as a whole, and not just from what they did, back all those years ago. It's about what they did then and what they have done and what we are doing exactly now to protect these ideals and to protect people in general, where they can celebrate these ideals and be free to do what they wish. And that's what I wish people would understand that the 4th of July is about. It's not just about the people who are Brits. And to me, 4th of July is where everyone can come together, have fun, celebrate, have some fireworks, have a barbecue. But I also want that we have during then to go throughout the entire year, 365 days a year, 24/7. That is what I think people should be about. And yeah, there are people who are just plain jerks, who just don't understand. Those people, forget about them. Just celebrate Independence Day and celebrate what you want to understand, because this is what the American dream is. And that's what people need to understand. And so I will end my video on that note. Remember, be kind, be generous, just be who you are. Build on that. And don't let people change you. See ya.